If you're like most people, you may think that you can quit porn whenever you want to, but you might be shocked to find out when you try and quit that you're helpless to stop. In this video, I'll show you 5 signs that you may be losing control, and then how to regain it. Now, quitting porn can be a journey, but at the end of this video, I'm gonna give you one quick win you can do to get a massive jump start so you can feel confident in starting that journey today. You probably didn't start looking at pornography thinking you'd get trapped by it. You may have thought that you would just look at porn every once in a while, but now it seems like no matter how hard you try to stop, you just can't quit looking at porn. Here are the 5 signs that you are more than likely compulsively using porn. Number 1. You've told yourself that you'd quit, but you didn't, especially if you've tried repeatedly and especially if you feel shame about it. This means you've lost your ability to decide and you've lost some of your agency. If you can't control your own behavior in this area of your life, you may end up losing control of your behavior in other things and end up doing things that you never would have dreamed that you would do. So if you're seeing this in yourself, that could be one sign that you are hooked or trapped in porn. Next, have you ever found yourself looking for stronger and stronger forms of pornography because the old stuff just isn't doing it for you anymore? So you need something more novel? I've known some people who've gone down some dark paths that way, but I've also known a lot of people who turned it around and got out of that. Looking for more novel and extreme forms of pornography could be another sign that you're hooked. Number 3, viewing women as objects. I know that you value women and you respect them, and yet porn trains the mind and the eyes to look at them like they're some sort of an object. It happens to men too, but it seems to be most with women. And you end up looking at women in ways that you're ashamed of, and honestly, they can sense it too. Quitting pornography can quickly get you back to where you're looking at women as valuable, respected human beings. And it does wonders for your relationships too. Honestly, this is one of the big things that I hear from my customers as a reason why they quit looking at porn. One of their big motivation, they were sick of catching themselves looking at women like that. And they don't want to be that guy. So they quit the porn. And then they tell me how good it feels when that goes away and they go back to looking at women in a wholesome, in a respectful way. The porn industry objectifies women all day long. And by quitting, you are taking a stand against that. You're withdrawing your support and saying, I will not be a part of objectifying women in this way. Number 4, constantly thinking about porn. Porn has this way of invading your mind. It makes it difficult to live life without it showing up in places where it doesn't belong. Porn distracts you from what you need to be doing. You'll be thinking about it while you're on a work call. You'll be thinking about it while you're at class or while you're with your special someone. This is one way that porn can hurt your life even when you aren't actually looking at it on a screen, because it gets into the screen of your mind. So if you find yourself having intrusive thoughts, and intrusive thoughts just means things in your mind that you don't want to be thinking about. If that's happening to you, this could be a sign that you're hooked and you need to do something about it. Finally, number 5, you find yourself being less satisfied in your relationships, especially with your romantic partner. You see, porn is full of novelty, and no real person can be like that. Just think about it. This is the most important person in your life, and pornography can ruin your intimacy with that person. There have been studies on divorce, and around 60% of people are now listing pornography as one of the contributing factors in that divorce. Do you really want this in your relationship? So what if you're not married or in a serious relationship yet? And I've talked to many, many people in this same boat who thought that they would quit the moment they got married. They thought they'll be being intimate and just like the temptation to view porn will just like magically go away. That's a very common thing. It never happens like that. Like I never heard of it happening like that. People who viewed porn before they got married, they bring it into the marriage. And you know, marriage is wonderful, but there's a lot of new adjusting and a lot of new things you have to learn. It can be difficult at times. And if you've trained yourself to view porn when you're having a hard day before you're married, it's going to keep happening after you're married. If you're not married yet, the time to quit pornography is now. And if you are married, the time to quit pornography is also now. So many of us men feel like we would die for our wife. And yet, would we be willing to get rid of this thing that is hurting her? how much more, if we're willing to die for her, would we get rid of porn that is hurting her? This is how you know that there's an issue that needs to be fixed. So that's the 5 signs that you might be hooked on porn. To recap, number 1, you told yourself you'd quit and you didn't. Number 2, you keep looking for stronger and more novel types of porn. Number 3, you catch yourself viewing women as objects. Number 4, you find yourself thinking about porn even when you're not watching it. And number 5, you're finding less satisfaction in your real relationships. If you answer yes to any of those problems, this is a good indication that you are compulsively viewing pornography, which just means that you're hooked. And it's time to do something about it. So this is my favorite part. What are we going to do about it? Let's talk about that. The first thing I think that you need to know is that you can quit this. You can succeed. You absolutely can. I have met people who were stuck in pornography for decades, people who had started when they were very young, people who never thought that they could quit, and they did quit. You can quit this. The next thing to remember is that you are going to feel amazing when you do quit porn. And there's kind of 2 reasons for that. The first reason is that you get rid of this thing that is bringing you all this misery and shame. Think of how awful you feel when you get done watching porn. That can be gone. That can be completely gone. You don't have to feel that way anymore. And all the problems that come with porn are gone. That's the first reason why you're going to feel amazing. But that's not even the biggest reason. The biggest reason why you feel amazing is the good stuff that comes into your life. The good stuff that porn has been keeping out. The increased confidence and focus that you'll feel. You'll get control back of your own behaviors. You may have to take my word for this, that life gets brighter and you'll feel happier. You'll notice the beauty in the world and in life and in people that somehow pornography was hiding when you were watching it. So how do you quit porn? There's one thing that is more important than everything else. You need to be willing to do whatever it takes. If you'll do whatever it takes and keep doing it, you will succeed. I promise you. Now, you may be saying to yourself, but hold on, I've decided 100 times, lots of times that I would quit porn and it always comes back. And let me question that. Did you really decide you would do whatever it takes? Or did you say more like, okay, I'm not going to tell anyone about this. I'm just going to just use my willpower and I just won't look at it anymore. And that worked until you had a weak moment, or maybe you were feeling invincible, whatever, but the porn came back. To really quit this, you have to do whatever it takes. And it may take some time. You may even have to redecide that you're willing over and over and over again. Some people need to do that. But if you will decide to do whatever it takes and keep doing it and never quit, I promise you, this is a personal promise from me to you, you will succeed at this. If that sounds like that's hard and may take a while, you might be right, honestly. It might take a while. But let me tell you about a massive jump start, a quick win you can do right now that'll get you feeling great. And that is accountability software. Being accountable means that you're open with your struggle. You share it with another person. You don't try and minimize it. You tell them when you slip up. And why do you do this? Because pornography is like a cockroach. It loves hiding in the dark. If you shine light on it, it runs away. If you shine light on your struggle by being open with another person, it will give you a massive step forward. Being truly accountable is amazingly powerful, but it's difficult to do, and that's because of shame. Shame makes us feel like, oh, I don't want to tell them. I don't want them to know. I already had a slip up the other day, and I don't want to tell them again. You know, shame makes us try and minimize, it makes us talk ourselves out of being truly open and accountable. And it's compounded because this is a habit and we've been hiding it for so long. So we need a way to be really honestly accountable and do it in a way that our shame can't hijack. And that way is with an app called Ever Accountable. Let me tell you how it works. If you're like most people, the temptation to view porn comes in on one of these things: a screen, a phone, or a computer. And what you do is you put Ever Accountable on those devices. And then it records the websites you've been to. It can even take screenshots like in social media, and it sends reports to the person you're being accountable to. It even has an AI that's running, and if there's anything sketchy in there, it'll send an alert to them. And this is how you can have that quick win of being accountable without your shame getting in the way, because you can't minimize. It came in on their report. They see everything you looked at. So the next time you have the urge to go look at something on your phone, you remember that you're accountable and you're like, no, never mind. I'll put my phone down and I'll go do something else. And that moment is a huge win. And you will have many of those moments. In fact, 95% of people who use Ever Accountable immediately report a huge reduction in their porn use. Immediately, 95%. Where do you see success like that? Their porn goes down, and for a lot of people, in fact, for most of them, the porn goes all the way to zero immediately by being truly accountable. If you watch porn on a screen, a phone or a computer, then getting accountable on that screen is a massive win. Ever Accountable is the best accountability app. Yes, I built it, but I really believe that. Me and the other geeks on my team, we know all the tricks to weasel around software like this, and we plug those loopholes. Ever Accountable takes your data safety very seriously. We are ISO certified in both information security and privacy. And by the way, nobody made us do that. We went to all the expense and hassle to get those certifications because we care and we want to do our best by you. And also, no other accountability app, to my knowledge, has any sort of certifications like that. Ever Accountable runs quietly in the background. It uses hardly any battery. It just stays out of your way and keeps you accountable for the decisions that you make. You can try Willpower again and you'll get the same results that you got all those other times you tried Willpower. Or you can get accountable today and see massive improvement today. Put this video on pause. Go get Ever Accountable on your device right now. You get a free trial plus a 100% money back guarantee if it doesn't work for you, which it will. And then after you've got Ever Accountable running on your devices, come back here and watch my next video for some more concrete steps on how to quit porn. You got this.